episode 3 of the Beachless Bums, we test the iconic Lee Enfield number 4 Mark I, aka SMLE, aka Smelly. The range is hot. Beachless Bums, episode 3, and we are testing a truly iconic legend, the Lee Enfield number 4 Mark I, the SMLE, often called the Smelly. These things were legends, originally developed in 1888. These rifles are still in service in some countries today. Truly an iconic, and in many ways, a revolutionary rifle. 10-round detachable magazines. They've got a really slick action on these. They're cock on close. These things, you could drag through the mud, you could throw into rocks, and you could keep fighting for your life, and they wouldn't let you down. They have a great reputation for reliability. So we're gonna take this baby out to the range. Before we do, we want to remind everyone, jump on our Facebook page, like that, follow us on Instagram, please subscribe to this channel, share our videos, and for all of those that do that, we've got a Glock 43 completely decked out with Hive accessories we'll be giving away for one of our first 1,000 subscribers. And finally, join us on Patreon, because your paid support helps us do these tests. For $2 a month, you can piss off Chuck Schumer and you can support the Beachless Bums in our quest to find the world's greatest guns. So we're gonna get out to the range and see how she does. All right, we've got the number 4 Mark I long branch, manufactured in Canada. Shooting ammunition, head stamp 1968, I believe it was made in England. 190 grain, 303. British. We're gonna give this thing a shot, see how it groups at 100 yards. 6 shots. We're gonna give it the best chance. We're gonna take the best 3 shots. And based on that, possible 20 points. 0 to 2 MOA is 20 points. 2 to 4 MOA is 15 points. 4 to 6 MOA is 10 points. And 6 to 8 MOA is 5 points. Anything beyond that is gonna be a 0 score. So we're gonna shoot the long branch, see how she does. All right, we're going to test the accuracy of the long branch, the 303 British that we brought, the number 4 Mark I. We gave it 6 shots. The best 3 of those 6 looks like it's about 1.75 inches. Not bad for a rifle manufactured in the 40s with shooting ammunition manufactured in the late 60s, early 70s. So good job to the long branch. All right, folks, we're gonna shoot the long branch, number 4 Mark I. This Canadian-made beauty is gonna shoot our 8-inch circle at 25 yards. The point of this, we have to shoot 8 shots, isn't to determine accuracy. What we're looking for is reasonable accuracy but we're mostly testing the function of the gun. We're gonna see how long it takes us to get 8 reasonably accurate shots downrange. Range is going hot with the number 4 Mark I long branch. All right, we're gonna see how we did on our function test. I gotta say, the Enfield action is super slick. Got a big mag capacity, holds 10 rounds. 8 rounds at 25 yards in a hurry. We had 1 out. It's gonna give it a 21.61. That's gonna give. We are back from the range with our Lee Enfield number 4 Mark I, the Smelly. And it performed well. This was a fun rifle to shoot today. That super slick action, quality manufacturer from Long Branch. There were 16 million of these made. Long Branch in Canada made 910,000 of them. This is one of those examples. This particular example was produced in 1943. It was a fun rifle to shoot. We didn't stab anything with the bayonet, but we're assuming if we had to, it would work just fine. So let's get right to the tests. On our plate rack test, possible 25 points for every second it takes to shoot the plates. We lose 1 point. So we had to change our plate rack test for these bigger rifles because we tried it with the M91, which is coming up in a couple episodes, and we blew one of the plates right off the plate rack. So what we did is we painted a circle the same size as the plates, put it at 25 yards, and shot 8 shots into that circle. For every miss, we got to add 1 second. There was one right on the line. We thought on the range we would add a second, but we've decided to go ahead and leave that in the score. So on our plate rack, AKA cardboard test, which is not a test of accuracy, it's a test of function. How fast can we get reasonable accuracy for 8 rounds out of a rifle? For some of these old rifles, it's going to take a while. This one did pretty good, I thought. It scored a 20.41, 8 shots on paper on the target, and it did it great. That 10-round magazine really paid dividends because we didn't have to reload this rifle. We always round up on these times, so a 20.41 becomes a 21. We take that off at 25. That left it with a 4-point score. Next, we move to accuracy. So we take this rifle, we go back to 100 meters. We put it in the bench, we take our time and we shoot 6 shots. We take the best 3 shots and we score it by its MOA. So, how do we get our score? 0 to 2 MOA is 20 points. 2 to 4 MOA is 15 points. 4 to 6 MOA is 10 points. 6 to 8 MOA is 5 points. And anything over 8 MOA is a shotgun, where it gets a 0 score. So this rifle, we shot it 6 times. It was a pleasure to shoot. This rifle doesn't have a ton of recoil. It's a lot of fun to shoot. It scored 1.75 MOA. That was the best 3 shots. It gets a 20-point score. So it got 4 points on the plate rack and 20 on the MOA test. Doing pretty good. Next, we move on to weight. And that really hurts this rifle. Possible 15 points in this category. For every pound it loses a point. This thing came in at 9.97 pounds with the bayonet installed. So out of 15 possible points, it scores 5 points for weight. Next is cool factor. We all really like this gun. It's really cool. I mean, it just holding this thing, you know you're holding history. So we took everybody's score, we averaged it out, and it came out to a 7, which is a pretty good score for the old Smelly. Next is impact. So what kind of impact did this rifle have on the gun community? Well, like I said, there were 16 million of these rifles produced. Originally developed in 1888. Came with a 10-round detachable magazine, which is really revolutionary for the time. Gives you big mag capacity with these rifles, and it was used in some of the ugliest places wars have ever been fought, in the trenches of World War I, all over the Asian theater and in the Pacific, and it served those troops very well. So impact overall, we gave this gun an 8 because there were millions and millions of these produced, and there are still some militaries using both the sniper variant and this variant. So they're still present in some of the third world countries' militaries. Next is lethality. How lethal is the .303 British round at 300 meters? And it's a sliding scale, so it will absolutely kill you if it hits you in the right spot. However, when compared with a 50 BMG, it's not as lethal as a 50 BMG, but it's much more lethal than a 22 short. So at 300 meters on the lethality test, we scored this a 6. It shoots a 180 grain bullet at 2,570 feet per second. Makes it a good mid to short range hunting rifle and fine for combat. But like I said, it comes in about middle of the road for lethality. Reliability is our next category. The war tells the tale. There are numerous accounts of these rifles holding up in the harshest conditions. We had one problem. We broke an extractor right off the bat. We ordered a new one. We were able to replace it, and it held up the whole time. God only knows how old the extractor on this guy was. So we're not going to hold too much against it. Like I said, the rifle was made in 1943. So we went ahead and gave it an 8 based on its history throughout the world for reliability. So when we add those up, 4 points on the plate rack, 20 points for accuracy, 5 points for weight, 7 for cool factor, 8 for impact, 6 for lethality, and 8 for reliability, that gave it a 58-point score, which puts it number 2 on the world's greatest gun rifle list, right behind the M1 carbine, which scored a 71. So next week, who knows what we've got coming for you, but stay tuned, like, subscribe, follow us on Instagram, share these videos. For every time you do, you get another entry to win the completely decked out Glock 43 loaded with Hive accessories, and now with a green laser installed. We're going to keep adding a little candy to that thing. So thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, follow, jump on Patreon, be a paid supporter. It's $2 a month. Remind everybody, for our first 1,000 subscriber giveaway, someone is going to be lucky enough to win this Glock 43, decked out with Hive accessories, and now decked out with the TR5 green laser. Look at this, activated simply by your hand hitting the bottom of the gun. No switches to throw, no buttons to press. It comes on when your hand touches the bottom of the laser. That's an add-on this week. So thanks for tuning in. Be safe out there. If you're in the military or in law enforcement doing your job, we appreciate you. We thank you. Be safe. If you ever need anything, reach out to us. Take care. Peace.